The United States is now on high alert, and for a reason that's sending shockwaves through every major intelligence agency in Washington. Classified reports confirm that Russia is now preparing to train and equip China for a full-scale aerial invasion of Taiwan, an operation that could be triggered without warning. This revelation doesn't just mark a new chapter in global tension. It marks the possible beginning of a two-front confrontation that the U.S. has spent decades trying to avoid. What makes this situation even more alarming is that it fits perfectly into Moscow's broader strategy to stretch American resources thin, diverting attention and military assets away from Europe, while Beijing quietly advances its ultimate goal, the reunification of Taiwan by force. In this video, we'll break down what's really happening behind the scenes, the movements, the intelligence leaks, and the geopolitical chessboard that's being reset right now. So, before we begin, make sure to hit that like button if you value in-depth global updates that go beyond the headlines. Now, let's dive in. According to multiple intelligence leaks released within the past 48 hours, Russia has signed a confidential military agreement with China to train, equip, and supply its airborne forces for a rapid strike operation on Taiwan. The documents detail the purchase of advanced parachute systems, transport vehicles, and airdrop technologies designed to deliver troops, drones, and armored units from high altitudes directly into contested zones. Analysts from the Royal United Services Institute independently verified the documents, confirming that this agreement would dramatically enhance China's air mobility and paratrooper capabilities, effectively giving Beijing the tools it needs for an unprecedented aerial campaign. This news has shaken security circles across the Pacific. Just days ago, several intelligence agencies warned that China's invasion timeline has accelerated. Satellite data shows increased aircraft movement, simulated invasion drills, and unusual activity along China's eastern coastline, signals that military analysts say resemble pre-war preparations. Meanwhile, Washington's diplomatic talks with Beijing may not be calming the situation. In fact, some experts suggest they're part of China's strategic deception plan. These negotiations, framed as peace efforts, could simply be an attempt to lower America's guard, while China silently prepares for the operation it's been planning for over a decade. Take the TikTok deal, for example, widely seen as a diplomatic breakthrough. But what if it was never about data security? What if that deal was a smokescreen, a calculated distraction, allowing Beijing to portray cooperation while it quietly intensifies military coordination with Moscow? Some analysts argue that for China, sacrificing partial control of a social platform is a small price to pay for achieving the ultimate objective, reclaiming Taiwan. The newly uncovered contracts between Moscow and Beijing reveal an even darker layer, a deepening military alliance that now goes far beyond trade or political friendship. Vladimir Putin, facing sanctions and isolation, has become increasingly dependent on China for spare parts, components, and dual-use technology crucial for sustaining his war machine in Ukraine. In return, Putin is offering what China lacks: combat experience, battlefield tactics, and proven invasion strategies. Some Western officials believe this partnership is not coincidental, that Russia's prolonged war in Ukraine serves as a convenient distraction, forcing the United States and NATO to stay heavily engaged in Europe. This, in turn, gives Beijing room to maneuver in the Pacific without immediate Western interference. In simpler terms, Russia keeps America busy, while China prepares for its move. Evidence supporting this theory is growing. Just last week, U.S. fighter jets intercepted Russian warplanes near Alaska, not once, but multiple times. It marked the 9th air encounter this year, and the 3rd in just a single month. These incidents aren't accidental, they're deliberate provocations, designed to test U.S. response times and readiness levels. At the same time, another crisis is brewing, this time in Venezuela, where new intelligence suggests that the U.S. may be preparing limited military action targeting drug trafficking hubs and illicit arms networks. If America commits forces to South America while remaining engaged in Europe, It would spread its military across 3 fronts, a scenario both Russia and China could exploit. Analysts warn that China's attack on Taiwan would look nothing like Russia's invasion of Ukraine. It wouldn't be slow, hesitant, or uncertain. It would be swift, synchronized, and overwhelming, combining airborne drops, naval bombardments, and cyber assaults to cripple Taiwan's defenses before reinforcements could arrive. Beijing knows time is not on its side. Every additional day gives the US and its allies more opportunity to strengthen Taiwan's defenses. So when the invasion begins, it must be fast, decisive, and near perfect, and that's precisely why Russia's expertise in aerial invasion warfare has become so valuable to China. In fact, Chinese military officers have already attended Zapad 2025, a series of joint military exercises held in Russia and Belarus, where they studied how Russian forces simulate NATO border conflicts and coordinate large-scale operations. Although China's technology may surpass Russia's, it lacks real combat experience, something it's now determined to gain, even if it means fighting proxy battles or shadow wars alongside Moscow. Several invasion strategies have reportedly been modeled. The first, an amphibious landing, is deemed highly risky because Taiwan's coastline is steep and heavily fortified. The second, capturing airfields for troop landings, could be thwarted if Taiwan destroys its runways, just as Ukraine did to block Russian forces in 2022. That leaves a third, more daring option, a massive aerial drop operation. Thousands of paratroopers and armored vehicles would be deployed deep inside Taiwanese territory, seizing ports, communication hubs, and military bases within hours. If executed successfully, this could cripple Taiwan's response before international reinforcements could even take off. Now, here's where things get even more revealing. Next Tuesday, the U.S. Secretary of Defense has summoned hundreds of generals, admirals, and intelligence leaders to Quantico, Virginia for an emergency briefing. Officially, it's being described as a strategic alignment meeting. Unofficially, insiders say it's a crisis coordination session, a move that underscores just how seriously Washington is taking these latest developments. So, what does this all mean? It means the United States is facing multiple flashpoints simultaneously: Russia in Ukraine, China in the Pacific, Venezuela in the South, each interconnected, each threatening to pull the world closer to a new era of confrontation. The big question now is, which one will ignite first? And when it does, how will the rest of the world respond? As more details unfold, I'll continue to bring you verified updates, step by step. But as of now, the situation stands clear. Russia is officially training China for a potential aerial invasion of Taiwan, while the United States quietly prepares for military involvement in Venezuela. The stage is set, the alliances are drawn, and the next global shift may already be underway. Thank you for watching. Stay alert, stay informed, and I'll see you in the next report.